Hello everybody, it's Maikito. Everybody's had a good day so far. Had a good day as of now as well. Um, Super small slate for tomorrow. 2 game slate, Premier League games. Usually when it comes to a 2 game slate, I usually wouldn't have any plays. But actually, surprisingly, did find some plays that I like. One for each game, moneyline play. So if I do have any added plays, I'm looking at some, but I want to confirm lineups before they happen. So I do have any added plays. They will be in the pinned comment, and they will be tomorrow before the game start. About an hour to 30 minutes before the game start. There are some that I'm looking at, but I don't want to give out a play and have it DMP. So again, I want to confirm lineups. Might have more plays, but I actually did find some that I did like. Not wearing the usual robe. It wasn't a sweep or anything. It wasn't a bad day. It was a decent day. But I'm using this as my good luck. And as a matter of fact, you know what? We're bringing out the cat. Y'all haven't seen him in a long time. He's a lot bigger than what he was before. But we're gonna bring him out for good luck. We got the rope for good luck, and hopefully we can hit with these plays that we will have for Friday slate. The first play that I found that I like is Lewis Dunk to go higher than 76.5 passes playing at home for Brighton, going up against Brentford. He's gone over in 8 out of 12 games. One of the games, you can see, actually I'll get into that here in a second. He's gone over in 5 out of 6 games. It looks like he hasn't gone over in 5 out of 7, but that one game against Southampton in which he had 30 passes, he played off the bench, so obviously that wouldn't count. It would void regardless. So without that game, he's gone over his prop in 5 out of 6 games at home, and the only other game that he went under was against Tottenham, who allowed the least amount of passes in the league. So that was just the worst possible matchup he could have had. He actually played him once last season away from home. He went over this prop and had 88. We just need him to get 77. And Brentford are a below average team when it comes to allowing passes to opposition. They allow the 9th most passes. And I also like this prop because they're not an aggressive team. They allow the second least fouls. They foul opponents the second least in the whole league. And they also have the least yellow cards. And the reason why I like this is because they're not a team that press when they don't have the ball. They won't be pressing to get the ball back. They kind of play in their own half and just kind of take the ball back whenever they can. Defend, try to get the ball and steal the ball in their own half. But they don't press opponents because they do get caught out a lot whenever they do that. So they're not an aggressive team at all. And I like this because that just means a lot of time for Dunk to be able to pass the ball. That just means Brighton will be able to play off the back a lot more. That's just even better for us. And I think this is a good line in general. As a good line, it's a good matchup. No reason to over-explain it. So I like Lewis Dunk to go higher than 76.5 passes. And then the other play that I found that I like is Gabriel Martinelli to go higher than 0.5 shots on target playing at home for Arsenal going up against Ipswich Town. You can call this a gut call if you want to, but I think the matchup supports it in general. First of all, Bukayo Saka is out, and he has started in 3 games in this season and going back to last season as well, in which Saka has been out. And in those games, he's gone over in 3 out of 3 games. He's gone over this prop in all 3 of those games. If you look at the second game on the image, it looks like he went under, but he didn't start that game. He did play, but he came off the bench. Obviously, if he doesn't start and come off the bench, it's gonna void, so it doesn't matter. So that one wouldn't count. The other 3 is where he started, where this prop would actually count, and it hit in all 3 of those games, which is good for us. And in his last 4 out of 5 starts that he's had so far this season, the last 5 starts, he's gone over this prop in 4 out of 5 games. And if you see, again, there's one prop in which it looks like it would be 4 out of 6, but in that game, he did not start. So again, it would void 5 of those. The last 5 starts, he's gone over in 4 out of 5. He was in the bench against Fulham. He's just in good form, and it's a good matchup. And the reason why I said that is because Ipswich allowed the 4th most shots on target to opponents at 5.8, and it's slightly more at around 6 whenever they play away from home, which is again good for us. And Ipswich do not play possession, while Arsenal does. Ipswich are bad against scalers, and Martinelli's a good dribbler, so that's even better for us. And then Ipswich are really bad at defending through balls, and he has players in his side like Martin Odegaard, who's really, really good at defending through balls. And up top, you have players like Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz, who will pass the ball. They're not strikers or just forwards that just constantly go for the shot. They are players that will pass the ball to him. So he has a lot of players in his team that will pass on the ball. They hold possession. He's a good dribbler. Ipswich are bad at defending it against dribblers. So again, no reason to over-explain it. It's a good matchup, and he's in good form right now. With Saka out, I expect him to have more of an attacking responsibility, especially at home. I like this. I like Gabriel Martinelli to go higher than 0.5 shots on target. Thank you everybody for watching so far. Before I get into the money line, if you guys please could like the video and comment as well. It helps boost the video out to more people. It doesn't matter what it is. I read all the comments. I really appreciate you guys. And then if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, turn on notifications. And if you want to support the channel just a little more, I do have the YouTube membership for those that are interested. For those, again, that want to support the channel and get the videos out early before they go public. If you're seeing this and you're not a member, those that are members already got this video out and were able to put these plays in before they get bumped, because it does tend to happen sometimes, or plays get taken away after I post these videos because the influx of people that are betting on these plays. Same thing, if you see any images on the screen, they're from a data app called Outlier. Link for that as well. Same thing with all my player props and money lines, linked in the description. And I really want to thank anybody who supports me in any way. I have one money line play that I like for tomorrow's slate. We hit day 1 of the ladder challenge, and the one play that I have is for day 2 of the ladder challenge. And the prop that I found that I like is Brian to go higher than 1.5 goals playing at home against Brentford. You can currently get this for minus 210 on Fliff. Brentford is the worst away team in the Premier League. They have conceded 16 goals in 8 games away, so they average on average 2 goals conceded per game away from home. You could take a look at their money line, but the reason why I'm not taking their money line instead of and I'm taking their goals instead of, because one, Brian's defense isn't as good as it was last season, so they can't just win off of 1-0. And two, Brentford's attack just turns up out of nowhere. They have been bad away from home, but they are still a good and capable attack, especially with Wisa and Mbembo both in the lineup. So I don't trust Brighton's defense as much, and I also don't want to underestimate Brentford's attack. But I'd rather take Brighton's higher than 1.5 goals, because I don't trust Brentford's defense, and Brighton has a very capable attack. Other than Danny Welbeck, who might not play, Brighton's attack is fully healthy, even without any staff players like Matoma, Ferguson. They have Joao Pedro, they have Minte. They have a lot of capable players in the attack that can score, and that's without even counting players like Dunk, who can attack and score off of set pieces, which is where they're good at playing as well. They've scored 13 goals in 8 games at home, so they average around 1.6 goals scored at home. We just need to get that second goal. And I also like it because Brentford can't defend the wings, and again, Brighton have players like Meantime and Toma who can play off the wings, who are great wingers, so they can take advantage of that as well. Again, I mentioned before in the dunk play that Brentford play in their own half, which means they just invite pressure. And for a team like Brighton that play possession, they can have plenty of attacks to be able to score against Brentford. And Brentford's defense is very, very leaky, so I like that as well. And like I said, Brighton play possession, and they're good at set pieces, which also means they're good at aerial duels. So I mentioned not only can they score from their strikers and their wingers, they can also score from their center backs who are good in the air. And Brentford are out 3 of their center backs. 3 of their main starting center backs that they have played are all out injured. Pinnock, Van den Berg, and Ager. Pinnock was their main one that was good in the air. He cleared the ball a lot for them and helped them a lot in defense, but he's out. And you can see in the last 5 games that Brentford has really been struggling when it comes to defending. They have conceded 2+ goals in their last 5 games straight, and I just think it's just a good match, especially at home. Brighton's a capable attack, and Brentford's a bad defense, especially with 3 of their center backs. I just think it's a good matchup, and I like this for day 2 of our ladder challenge. So like Brighton to go higher than 1.5 goals at home for minus 210 going up against Brentford. Thank you everybody for watching. As always, quickly gonna go over last video's picks. Money line wise, it was a 2-in-1 day. We had the Watford money line. They hit last minute of the game. That was great for us. Like I mentioned before, we had day 1 of the ladder challenge. Oxford won their game. Again, we took their win or draw just to be safe. That hit for us. And then the one that missed was Leicester to not score, which also meant that Allison 0.5 goals allowed missed. That happened within like what, 5-6 minutes into the game. Chalked. It was just very bad, and unlike Liverpool's on their defense. And of course, they scored in that 6th minute of the game and then didn't score again. So that was just unfortunate. And then player prop wise, I think overall it was a 2-in-2 day. I know Kluivert had one. He got subbed out and missed. I mentioned Allison. We had Darwin Nunez, higher than 3 shots. He hit. And then I also had 2 added plays. That was Uñal to go higher than 2 shots. He pushed with 2. And then we also had Mateus Fernandes to go higher than 0.5 shots assisted, and he hit. So player prop wise had 5. 1 pushed, 2 hit, 2 missed. So 2-in-2 when it comes to that, so not bad. And then money line wise was a good day, 2-in-1 day, and hopefully we can carry on that momentum going into tomorrow's small slate. We'll be back hopefully tomorrow. There are Serie A games, and we'll see if I find any props there. As always, not gonna force any plays. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.